Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Ogie. I am the pastor of Cutler Bay Worship Center, and this is my broken phone. So, we are doing Proverbs chapter 26 today. And if you were just with me a couple minutes ago, I did chapter 25 because yesterday I was too busy to get to it. And today at 8:30 p.m., I'm just getting to them. It's been a busy few days. If you are in the area local to us, tomorrow morning we are doing a food distribution at our church, 8601 Southwest 199th Street. Please come out if you need any help or any food. We are there tomorrow morning starting at 9 o'clock, and we'll be there until we run out of food. So, we are going to be reading chapter 26 in the book of Proverbs right now, and this is an interesting one. It's kind of funny. When we get into it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But starting in verse 1, reading from the New Living Translation, honor is no more associated with fools than snow with summer or rain with harvest. And snow with summer is not something that happens, especially here in Miami. Like a fluttering sparrow or a darting swallow, an undeserved curse will not land on its intended victim. Guide a horse with a whip, a donkey with a bridle, and a fool with a rod to his back. Don't answer, this is what I was talking about right here, getting into verse 4. Don't answer the foolish arguments of fools, or you will become as foolish as they are. Be sure to answer the foolish arguments of fools, or they will become wise in their own estimation. I'm like, what? So I'm reading this and I'm thinking, okay, don't answer the foolish arguments of fools. Be sure to answer the foolish arguments of fools. As I was thinking about it, I'm like, we have this saying, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? And there's this idea that getting involved with a foolish argument of a fool, whether you answer it or don't answer it, is a bad choice. And we've already seen from the very beginning of the book of Proverbs, okay? Chapter 1, verse 7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Really what he's saying is just avoid it. Just avoid them. There's no sense in getting worked up and getting into arguments and talking through this stuff with a foolish person because it's just going to go nowhere, right? Proverbs chapter 15, verse 2, the tongue of the wise commends knowledge, but the mouths of the fools pour out folly. That's what happens. You get around foolish people, they talk foolish stuff. You get around wise people, they talk wise stuff. So don't associate yourself. Don't hang out with. Don't be around those types of people, and you don't need to worry about it. That's really what he's saying here. Is like, listen, this is what's going to happen if you don't answer the foolish arguments of fools. If you do, you're going to become as foolish as they are. And if you don't, they're going to feel like they're so wise because you didn't say anything. Man, it sounds like Facebook these days. All right, verse 6, trusting a fool to convey a message is like cutting off one's feet or drinking poison. A proverb in the mouth of a fool is as useless as a paralyzed leg. Honoring a fool is as foolish as tying a stone to a slingshot. A proverb in the mouth of a fool is like a thorny branch brandished by a drunk. An employer who hires a fool or a bystander is like an archer who shoots at random. As a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool repeats his foolishness. There is more hope for fools than for people who think they are wise. The lazy person claims, there's a lion on the road. Yes, I'm sure there's a lion out there. As a door swings back and forth on its hinges, so the lazy person turns over in bed. Lazy people take food in their hand, but don't even lift it to their mouth. Again, we've read that before, haven't we? And I'm like, I've been lazy before, but never too lazy to lift food to my mouth. Verse 16, lazy people consider themselves smarter than 7 wise counselors. Interfering in someone else's argument is as foolish as yanking a dog's ears. That'll get you bit. Just as damaging as a madman shooting a deadly weapon is someone who lies to a friend and then says, I was only joking. Fire goes out without wood, and quarrels disappear when gossip stops. Oh, that's good. Can we just read that again for a second? Fire goes out without wood, and quarrels disappear when gossip stops. If you can learn to control your tongue, if you can learn to not give in to gossip, to talking about the person, to talking about the situation ad nauseum with people everywhere, the quarrel can disappear. the issues you're having with people in your lives, it could go away if we learn to begin to control our tongue. That is good. Stop putting fuel on the fire. A quarrelsome person starts fights as easily as hot embers light charcoal or fire lights wood. Rumors are dainty morsels that sink deep into one's heart. So don't listen to rumors, is what he's saying. Smooth words may hide a wicked heart, just as a pretty glaze covers a clay pot. People may cover their hatred with pleasant words, but they're deceiving you. They pretend to be kind, but don't believe them. Their hearts are full of many evils. While their hatred may be concealed by trickery, their wrongdoing will be exposed in public. If you set a trap for others, you will get caught in it yourself. If you roll a boulder down on others, it will crush you instead. A lying tongue hates its victims, and flattering words cause ruin. So a couple shorter ones, these last two chapters that we've read through. But just some good stuff in here, in chapter 26 here, really focusing in that first half about, the fool, about what happens to a fool, about what being around a fool is like. No wonder he starts with verse 4 and 5 saying, listen, if you don't answer them, there's going to be problems. And if you do answer them, there's going to be problems. And this is why. Because trusting a fool to convey a message is like cutting off your foot and drinking poison. All right? A proverb in the mouth of a fool is as useless as a paralyzed dog, because he's not going to listen anyways. They don't like wisdom. All those things he says about the fool. These are the very reasons that he's saying, listen, just don't get into it with them. And we all know, generally speaking, what that type of person is. Somebody who doesn't listen to wisdom, somebody who doesn't listen to instruction. They're always spouting their mouth. They're always thinking that they're smarter than they are. They're always, trying to prove that they got it together, and really their life is just a mess. And, again, when I read stuff like this, I said this a couple days ago, I am so grateful for the grace of God. I am so grateful for the mercy of God that I was a fool. I was a fool, as a teenager in my early 20s. Some things I thought, some things I did, some attitudes I had. Man, I was a fool. But I didn't have to stay the fool, right? Like God's grace and God's mercy were the foundation for me to be able to come out of that. And as I began to seek wisdom and seek His heart, everything begins to change. You lose the foolishness and you begin to gain wisdom and understanding and insight and knowledge. As you begin to fear the Lord, as you begin to honor Him, as you begin to look at Him and say, God, you are God, and I'm so thankful you are God and I am not. This is good stuff. I'm going to try and get to you tomorrow. Like I said, we're doing food distribution in the morning, so it's going to be a busy day, but we'll try and get to chapter 27 of the book of Proverbs tomorrow. Have a great night, and if you're in the area, we hope we see you tomorrow.